गोपीजन वल्लभा वरधारी। जय गोपीजन लभा गिरिवरधारी। जय गोपीजन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी। यशोदानन्दन व्रज जन रञ्जन। यशोदानन्दन व्रज जन रञ्जन। यमुनातीरा वनचारि। यमुनातीरा वनचारि। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। जय गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। यशोदानन्दन व्रज जन रञ्जन। यशोदानन्दन व्रज जन रञ्जन। यमुनातीरावनचारि। यमुनातीरावनचारि। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। जय राधा माधव राधा माधव राधे। जय राधा माधव राधा माधव राधे। जय राधा गोविंद राधा गोविंद राधे। जय राधा गोविंद राधा गोविंद राधे। जय राधा गिरिधारी राधा गिरिधारी राधे। जय राधा गिरिधारी राधा गिरिधारी राधे। जय राधे जय राधे जय राधे। जय श्री राधे। जय राधे जय राधे जय राधे। जय श्री राधे। जय जगन्नाथ जय जगन्नाथ। बलदेवा जय सुभद्रा। जय जगन्नाथ जय जगन्नाथ। बलदेवा जय सुभद्रा। जय जय गुरुदेव गुरुदेव जय जय गुरुदेव। निताय गौरंगा जय निताय गौरंगा निताय गौरंगा जय निताय गौरंगा। जय प्रभुपाद जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय प्रभुपाद। श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय। श्री राधा गोविंद जी के जय। श्री राधा गिरिधारी की जय। श्री बलदेव सुभद्रा जगन्नाथ भगवान की जय। श्री ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। श्रुवन्तं स्वकथा कृष्ण पुण्यसर्वनां कीर्तनं हृदयन्तस्थय भद्राणि विदुनोति श्रुतसताम्। नष्टप्रयासु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्ति भवति नैष्टिकी। Before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances unto the personality of Godhead Narayan, unto Nara Narayan Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyas, the author. Sri Krishna, the personality of Godhead, who is the Paramatma in everyone's heart and the benefactor of the truthful devotee, cleanses desire for material enjoyment from the heart of the devotee who has developed the urge to hear his messages, which are in themselves virtuous when properly heard and chanted. By regular attendance in classes on the Bhagavatam and by rendering service to this pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact. Yeah. Reading from Srila Prabhupada Lilamrita. Pad said, "So Hagriva, come here." Prabhupada had the devotees arrange for a large candle on a plate. The ceremony he had planned would be a simple one, with devotees and guests one after another coming up and offering the flame in circles before the Jagannath deities. This should be lighted up, Srila Prabhupada said, and when there is kirtan, one must be doing like this before the deities. Srila Prabhupada moved his hands around in a circle before the deity. You see, Hagriva. Yes, yes. Prabhupada. Yes, with the kirtan, and then when one person is tired, he should hand it over to another person, devotee. When he is tired, he should give to another. As long as the kirtan will go on. This should be done with the kirtan just now. Do you follow? Yes, you begin. And when you are tired, you hand over to another. It will go on like that. Srila Prabhupada from his seat guided Hagriva in approaching the deity with the lit candle. Some of the girls tittered with nervous expectations. Before the deity, Srila Prabhupada said, "All right, now begin, now better begin kirtan." Okay, let me get my Hare Krishna. Today's Srimad Bhagavatam reading is, let me share it first. Yes, today's Srimad Bhagavatam reading is from Canto 4, the creation of the fourth order, and chapter 30, the activities of the Prachetas, text 16. Apritagya dharma silanam sarvesham vasamudhayamam. Apritagya dharma silanam sarvesham vasamudhyama. Apritagya dharma silemam bhuyat patne arpitasya. Apritagya dharma sileyam भूयात पत्नी अर्पित सया अप्रत्यज्ञ धर्मशीलानां सर्वेषां वा समोद्धयाम अप्रत्यज्ञ धर्मशीलेयं भूयात् पत्नी अर्पितस्य अप्रत्यज्ञ धर्मशीलानां सर्वेषां वः समुद्धयम अप्रत्यज्ञ धर्मशीलेयं भूयात् पत्नी अर्पितस्य. Okay, somebody please.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. धन्यवाद प्रणाम प्रभु.
Apritag Apritag Dharma Shilanam Sarvesham Vasu Madhyama Apritag Dharma Shileyam Bhuyat Patni Arpita Shaya. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, thank you.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I am also trying.
Yes, please.
Aprithak dharma shilanam sarvesham vah sumattama aprithak dharma shileyam bhuyat patni arpita shaya. Hare Krishna.
कृष्ण प्रभु दंडवत प्रणाम.
Hare Krishna Mataji, धन्यवाद.
अपृथक धर्मशीलानां सर्वेषां वसुमध्यमा अपृथक धर्मशीलेयं भूयात् पत्नी अर्पिता शया. हरे कृष्ण.
Hare Krishna. Anybody else? Apratyaga, synonyms, apratyaga without differences, dharma, occupations, silanam, whose character, sarvesham, all, vaha, of you, sumadhyama, a girl whose uh, waist is slender, apratyaga without difference, dharma, occupation, Shila, well behaved. Yam, this bhuyat, may she become patni, wife, arpita asya, fully surrendered. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Your brothers are all of the same nature, being devotees and obedient sons of your father. Similarly, that girl is also of the same type, and is dedicated to all of you. Thus, both the girl and you, the sons of Prachani Bharsat, are on the same platform, being united on a common principle. Purport. According to Vedic principles, a woman cannot have many husbands, although a husband can have many wives. In special instances, however, it is found that a woman has more than one husband. Draupadi, for instance, was married to all of the 5 Pandava brothers. Similarly, the Supreme Personality of Godhead ordered all the sons of Prachani Bharsat to marry the one girl born of the great sage Kandu and Pramlocha. In special cases, a girl is allowed to marry more than one man, provided she is able to treat her husbands equally. This is not possible for any ordinary woman. Only one who is especially qualified can be allowed to marry more than one husband. In this age of Kali, to find such an equiposed woman is very difficult. Thus, according to scriptures, Kalo Pancha Vivarjaya. In this age, a woman is forbidden to marry her husband's brother. This system is still practiced in some of the hilly tracts of India. The Lord says, Apratyaga dharma sileyam bhuyat patni arpita saya. With the blessings of the Lord, all things are possible. The Lord especially blessed the girl to surrender equally to all brothers. Apritag dharma, meaning occupational duty without difference of purpose, is taught in Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is divided into three primary divisions: Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, and Bhakti Yoga. The word yoga means acting on behalf of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as confirmed by Bhagavad Gita 3.9. Yaj artha karma anartha lokayam karma bandhana tad artam karma kunteya mukta sangha samachar. Work done as a sacrifice for Vishnu has to be performed, otherwise work binds one to this material world. Therefore, O son of Kunti, perform your prescribed duties for his satisfaction. And that is what and in that way you will always remain unattached and free from bondage. One may act according to his own occupational duty just to satisfy the Yajna Purusha, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is called a Pratagya Dharma. Different limbs of the body may act in different ways, but the ultimate objective is to maintain the entire body. Similarly, if we work for the satisfaction of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, we will find that we satisfy everything. We should follow in the footsteps of the Prachetas, whose only aim was to satisfy the Supreme Lord. This is called Apratagya Dharma. According to Bhagavad Gita 1866, Sarva Dharman Pratyajya Mamekam Sarnam Braja. Abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. This is the advice of the Lord Krishna. Our only aim should be to act in Krishna consciousness for the satisfaction of Lord. This is oneness, O Apratagya Dharma. Nama Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Loknath Swamniti Namne Nama Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamniti Namne Namaste Saraswate Deve Gaurvani Pracharine Nirvisesa Sunyavadi Paschasta Desatarin Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangam Lagradirium Yat Kirpatam Ham Bande Guru Dinatarine ओम ज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुमिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वापदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवं च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सागररघुनाथन्वितं तं सजीवं सद्वैतं साधुतं परिजन सहित कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान् सागना ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितं च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपीश गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमस्तुते जयतं श्रुतौ पंगोर मम मन मतेर्गति मत सर्वस पदम भोज राधा मदन मोहनो तप्त कांचन गौरंगी राधे वृंदाविनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरि प्रिये वाञ्छकल्पातरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यो एव च पतितनां पावनभयो वैष्णव्यो नमो नमः श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Hare Krishna once again, everyone. Welcome to our morning session of Srimad Bhagavatam recitation. Today's text is from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 30, Text 16. Aprityaga dharma sile nam sarve samava samudhyama. Aprityaga dharma sile yam bhuyant patane arpita saya. Your brothers are all of the same nature, being devotees and obedient sons of your father. Similarly, that girl is also of the same type and is dedicated to all of you. Thus, both the girl and you, the sons of Prachani Bharasya, are on the same platform, being united on the common principle. The story goes that the Prachatas, the 10 sons of Prachani Bhari, had gone to do austerities, and on the way, remember, Lord Shiva met them and gave them a prayer and asked them to use that prayer to pray to Lord Krishna. And they went and waist deep, stayed in waist deep in water, in the sea, and did tapasya for a long time. And finally, Lord was pleased with their prayers and came and gave them darshan. And this is the story after darshan, how his blessings blessed them, and are now telling them to marry Marisa, the daughter of Sage Kandu and Apsara Pramalocha. As a result of their penance, Lord Vishnu appeared before them, pleased with their devotion. Remember, I'm just trying to recap a few slokas before. He blessed them with several boons, blessings, including peace of mind, the strength to rule the kingdom, and the ability to marry an extraordinary woman who would become the mother of a great dynasty. Marisha is the name of the daughter. It's also known as Briksha. Briksha is it's an interesting story I found out about Marisha. Pramalochan, when this sage Kandu was very much devoted and was continuing with all his finances, and Indra got scared, as he always does. So anybody who's doing great austerities, he starts panicking that they are after his kingdom. So he sent Pramlocha, a very beautiful apsara or damsels from the heavenly planet. Firstly, she was hesitant because of the powers of the sage Kandu, and requested to send the other apsaras, the common ones, Menaka and them. But Indra managed to persuade her to go and disturb sage Kandu from his penances. After a prolonged stay with the sage, Pramlocha gave birth to Marisha, who was raised by forest trees. That's interesting. I could not find any. How can trees raise a child? But later, just to make sense out of what is happening, that Soma, the moon god, came and looked after or brought up the girl. Rishi Kandu was renowned for his very intense austerities and meditative practices. So, fearing that he is going to take up his kingdom, Indra devised this technique to disturb him. When Pramlocha descended to the earth and began the task of seducing the sage, she attracted by her beauty, she attracted Sage Kandu, who actually succumbed to her charms, and they lived together, completely losing track of time. Is I found out that Sage Kandu lost track of time. He said that she just came in the morning. He was near the banks of Gomati River. That's the place in Mount Mandara, near the valley, at the base of Mount Mandara. That's where he lived. After 100 years of living together, Pramlocha asked Kandu if she could return to Swarga, heavenly planets. But Kandu says, just stay a bit more. So another 100 years passed. And next time, Pramlocha asked, can I go now? Rishi would say, Sage would say, no, stay a bit more. Won't say stay a bit more for more days, but it's a bit longer. Because he was thinking that he was so engrossed in the beauty of this damsel and also enjoying that he lost track of all the time. And one evening, he was going out to perform his Sandhya rituals, and the Apsara asked him, where are you off to? Where are you going? He said, oh, don't you know that in the evening we have to do all these things? How come you've never done any before? So, what do you mean? You just came in the morning. So in the evening, I need to go and perform my Sandhya Vandana. And Pramlocha said, one day, 987 years, 6 months, and 3 days have passed since you have married me. So that's how long Sage Kandu stayed with Pramlocha. 987 years, 6 months, and 3 days. It's mentioned that the article I found is mentioned that it's in the Brahma Puran, but I haven't been able to verify. In some cases, it's 907 years they lived together. On realizing that it has been so many years, the sage started to curse himself for losing track of, for deviating from what he was supposed to be doing. He had been so engrossed in worldly desires and sexual enjoyment that hadn't even realized the passage of time. Kandu told her to go back to heaven. And while Pramlocha was going back, she realized she was pregnant and she was sweating. The incident here sort of tells us that though these people come to they interact with human beings, but they not willing to have children or anything to do with children. So she, because she was sweating and very intense and wasn't sure what to do because at that time she was pregnant, but then while she was preparing herself to leave, she actually gave birth to a girl after tending to the baby. Pramalocha left her on the trees and took off, went away. Now, Bhagavatam doesn't explain to us how the trees managed to bring up Marisha. But it does mention later on that Soma, the moon god, came and fed her and then raised her. Apsara, in the word Apsara, Apa means water and Sara means the one who dwells in water. It means they are youthful and fluid. Often women bathe in water and the symbol of lust. Apsara stands just for that. They are blessed with eternal youth and eternal beauty, just like water. They move from one master to another and yet remain pure as if it is their first time. In the past life, Marisha had been the wife of a king that died young, resulting that she became a childless widow. She didn't have any child. And Marisha prayed to Lord Vishnu, who granted her boon that in the next life she will have several good husbands and a great son. The son is Daksha. Now we know that Daksha was the mental son of Brahma, but it says that in the next Manmantar, Daksha is born of the Prachat, father Prachat and Marisha. So that's the background story of Kandu Rishi and Marisha. And Prabhupada in the purport says, according to Vedic principles, a woman cannot have many husbands. This the second example. Draupadi had 5 husbands and Marisha had 10. Now, there's no information, any further information on who actually pregnated Marisha after the 10. And how can you have one child, 10 fathers? So no, sorry, I've got no information on that, but let's go back to. There's another definition of yoga here. We normally would hear that yoga means to join, but here Srila Prabhupada tells us that the word yoga means acting on behalf of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That's something new I picked up, and it's confirmed in the Srimad Bhagavad Gita 3.9. Yajartha karmano anartha lokoyam karma bandhana tad artham karma kontaya mukta sangha samachar. Work done as a sacrifice of Vishnu has to be performed. Otherwise, work binds one to this material world. Therefore, O son of Kunti, perform your prescribed duties for his satisfaction. And in that way, you will always remain unattached and free from bondage. Okay, that's all I have to contribute today. Anybody would like to add to it, please?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandot Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Thank you very much for explaining the text so nicely and explaining the background, which is very rare to find out. But you have pointed out how this story round around, and the Mrisha, the daughter of Pramalocha and Kandu, came about. So that background is very, very important and to know, and is hard to find out such information. Thank you so much for explaining the background. And again, this Srila Prabhupada is talking about yoga means acting on behalf of the Supreme Personality of God, how it transforms the another meaning. As you said, Yagnartha Karmano Annatra Loko Ayam Karma Bandhana. So, so whatever work is done for the satisfaction of the Lord is actually yoga. So anything done for the satisfaction of the Lord is all about yoga. That means connecting the Lord is the main thing. That means following the instruction of the Lord is all about. So Srila Prabhupada has given the highlight of this point. As this is very, very important. Whatever we do, the main focus should be satisfying the Lord. He is all about His instruction to follow. So here we can see all the prachetas, all 10 sons of Prachin Varishan. They are so much trained by Lord Shiva for thousands of years. So they are fully engrossed in the service of the Lord and they are fully trained. So they are the appropriate person for the next generation to come on, and how the build up of the next generation will go on from the Pramalocha and this daughters of Pramalocha and Prachin Parishad will come to know hereafter. So thank you very much for enlightening the inner meaning of this and the secret of this information. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Actually, you highlighted more than I did in your summary. Anybody else?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandot Pranam.
Dandot Pranam.
Dandot Pranam Prabhu. Thank you so much for the nice class, and I think always you give some extra points that they really like. This we were not aware of this this background of this Pramalocha and that Kandu. So thanks for sharing that. And Prabhu, I think what I also appreciated in this was they're saying how it's so difficult for people to be in the same bandwidth. So that's why one woman cannot marry more than one wife, because they're all in a different bandwidth. They cannot satisfy each other. So it's so difficult to, especially in the Kali Yuga, I think. Even a single husband wife, let alone multiple husbands or multiple wives, even a single husband wife are not able to adjust to each other. So yeah, so I just amazing how Pramalocha, that dot Marisha was able to behave with all of them so nicely. No, thank you so much, Prabhu.
Yeah, actually, I think this is the only two occasions I wasn't aware of. I mean, although I'd read Bhagavatam before, but forgot about it. I only knew that Draupadi was the only woman who had multiple husbands, but this is another case where, but I am not aware of heaven that any third occasion. So in whole history, not just in Kali Yuga, never before, apart from these two examples, I don't I'm not aware of any other woman had multiple husbands, but men all had many wives, but not women having many husbands, except for these two cases. So not just in Kali Yuga, you can see that it's not a common practice. And nowadays it's rules for both husband and woman. Lots of countries have rules that you can't have more than one husband or more than one woman, one wife. So most developed countries have this rule.
Correct.
Except I think only with the Muslims.
Okay.
The practice is common, but not in other countries.
Yes, Prabhu. Yeah. No. Thank you, Prabhu.
Anybody else?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam Prabhu. This is Tulsi Sevia.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you for the very nice class. I since a couple of days I've been thinking about this point that it's the Lord is so kind. Krishna is so kind that he could see that these prachetas, they are so renounced and they're so obedient and they are ready actually for liberation. But he also is he is aware that they are obedient sons of their father. The father is also very equally greatly qualified and exalted. He also listened to Sage Narada and immediately, he was renounced and he left immediately. So he wanted to bless them, but he didn't want them to get totally entrapped in material life. So they are Kshatriyas. So by nature, they would have probably, if they'd been left to themselves, probably they would have had many wives and many children, and chances of them getting caught up in this material life would have been very high. But he blessed them in such a nice way that, okay, you can get married, maybe let there be one wife, and between you there will be one child, and then preparing them for quick liberation also. Like he's able to do so many things at one time. Like with one arrow, he's able to make so many meet so many results. And I was just thinking how kind the Lord is. That's what I got from this story. Thank you very much, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Thanks for sharing your realization, Mataji. Anybody else? Okay, then let's wind it up. Sri Granth Raj, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Vancha kalpatarusha kripa sindhubhyo patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavibhyo namo.
Ananta
Srila
Koti
Prabhupada ki jai.
His Grace Rasparayan Prabhuji ki jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Gaur Premanande
Hari Hari Bol.
Hare
all
Bol.
glories to the assembled devotees.
Hare
Hare Krishna.